Today we're going to crochet a tulip pendant. Wool is 5-strand milk cotton. Crochet is a 2.5 millimeters crochet. First take out the flower color line. Make a circle around your finger. The gesture of the left hand goes around the little finger first, then bypass the index finger. The crochet goes through the starting ring. Winding hook out. Then hook another stitch. Then we began to crochet the first circle. In the first lap, we need to crochet 6 short needles in the ring. The crochet goes through the starting ring. Another coil. The winding is pulled through the 2 coils at one time. Well, it's a short needle. After the first stitch is woven, we use a mark buckle. Put the wheat ears in front. Mark it. This is the first stitch of our first lap. Then we crochet the second short needle. Crochet hook. Thread in from the needle lifting ring. Too much out of a coil. The winding is pulled through the 2 coils at one time. This is the second short needle. Then we continue to crochet 4 short needles. We crocheted 6 short needles in the first lap. After 6 short needles are hooked, let's enlarge the coil. Then pull up the thread at the needle. Tighten the needle ring tightly to reduce the size. Then thread the crochet back into the loop. We began to crochet the second lap. At the beginning of each lap, we use the spiral hook method. Therefore, there is no need for hook drawing needle. We, directly above the first pin in the first lap, hook the first stitch of our second lap. Remove the mark buckle marked by the first pin. The crochet goes into the first stitch. Crochet a short needle. This is the first stitch of our second lap. Knit the first stitch of each circle. All need to be marked with a marking buckle. Then we crochet. Also into the first mobilization. Continue to inform for a short time. Then we came to the second needle. It is also the same hole in the second needle eye. There are 2 short needles in your eyes. Our second lap was at 2 short needles are crocheted in each needle mesh. Next, we follow the same method. Finish the second circle. After the second loop is woven, let's take off the mark buckle of the first stitch. Come on top of the first needle in the second lap. The first stitch of the third loop. Then buckle the mark at the position of the first needle. Next, stitch a short stitch in the second stitch. Hook a short needle in the third stitch. The addition of a short stitch in the fourth stitch. After checking, we can have a look. This creates the effect of 1 stitch after another. Then we follow the method of adding 1 needle every other. Finish the third circle. After the third loop is woven, let's take off the mark buckle marked by the first needle. The crochet goes into the first stitch. Crochet a short needle. Buckle a mark and mark it. Then hook a short needle in the second needle mesh. The addition of a short stitch in the third stitch. Hook a short needle in the fourth stitch. Hook a short needle in the fifth stitch. Add a needle to the sixth needle. So we can have a look. This creates an interval of 2 stitches plus 1. Effective 2 stitches plus 1 stitch. Follow the method of adding 1 needle after another. Finish the fourth circle. After the fourth loop is woven, we continue to crochet. Fifth lap. In the fifth lap, we followed 3 stitches apart. Add a needle to tick. After the 5th loop is woven, we began to crochet the 6th lap. We don't add or subtract from lap 6 to 13. Several lines. We crochet to each of the 13th row without adding or subtracting. Just hook a short needle in the needle eye. Neither add nor subtract. 13th lap. After the hook is woven, we hooked a drawing needle with the first needle. Cut the thread. Pull the thread out of the flower part. We'll hook it up. Next, hook the leaves and stitch them. We use the lock stitch method. Leave the thread longer. First, tie a loose knot on your finger. Thread the crochet into the needle lifting ring. Winding. Bring out a coil. This is a braided needle. Then we continue to crochet braid needles. A total of 12 braid stitches were crocheted. After 12 braid needle hooks are woven, we can see that this is the first braid. This is the penultimate braid. We threaded the needle outward from the center of the penultimate braid. Pick up only half of the face and half of the line segment. Inform. 1 drawing needle. What about the next 2 needle heads? We each crochet a short needle. Of the next 7 needle heads, we each crochet a medium long needle. Hook yarn winding of medium and long needles. Threading into the coil brings out a coil winding for 1 time. Pull out the 3 loops on the crochet. This is a medium long needle. We need to bind it 7 times. After 7 medium and long needle hooks are woven, we have the last hole left. We're in the last hole. 3 medium long needles are woven from the same hole. Then we went around to the other side. We share the same needle on the left and right sides. We then continued to crochet 7 medium and long needles. After 7 medium and long needle hooks are woven, we crochet 2 short needles. Then in the last needle, crochet a drawing needle. Then bind a standing needle. Cut the thread. A small leaf and we're done. Let's take a look at our tulips. You need a big leaf and a small leaf. We had 13 stitches on the little leaf. Big leaf. 17 stitches. The method of crocheting is the same. Next, crochet the flower pole part. First on your fingers. Wrap a loop around. The high needle penetrates into the spinal ring. Take out a coil. Then 6 short needles are knitted by hooking in the needle lifting ring. After 6 short needle hooks are woven, let's enlarge the coil. Then shrink the needle lifting ring. Then let's hook the second circle. In the second lap, we do not add or subtract. 6 short needles. We need to be in the 6 stitches in the first circle. Stitch a short needle in each stitch. After 6 short needle hooks are woven, we need to. The producer turn to the front because it's concave. Then we continue to crochet the third lap. 3 to 10 laps are 6. A short needle, let's continue to hook up. After the 10th loop is woven, We hooked a drawing needle with the first needle. A standing needle cuts the thread. The current limiting can be a little longer. We'll use the lunch box later. Then we put them together. First, put some cotton in the flowers. Then use steel needle and material bag. Sew tulips over the flowers. After the flowers are sewn up, we sew the flower stems on the flowers first. After the flower stems are sewn up, we continue to sew leaves. Part